Meghan Markle as previously having been a, quote, yacht girl, there have been more revelations going viral from the past. And I want to show you this.
She was a yacht girl, that's right. It's mentioned in the book. Meghan used to entertain as a yacht girl.
They called her the Duchess of Compassion. But Lady Colin Campbell just called her something else entirely. The Duchess of Deception.
Now, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it happened, but I am saying Harry knows it.
Because when you scrub the glitter off Meghan Markle's so-called royal fairy tale, what's left isn't glass slippers. It's yacht parties, billionaire circles, and a trail of mysteriously vanished photos.
In fact, I've seen the tapes. I've got them somewhere. God knows where now. I've got them on some
So you'll see Nudie Rudy Meghan too?
I've seen more than one thing.
For years, Meghan built her brand on empowerment, empathy, and elegance. But somehow those red carpet smiles keep leading back to yachts, private jets, and secret summers with the world's elite.
They try to hide the files, and they fail.
And just when everyone thought her past was perfectly polished, Lady Colin Campbell said, "Not so fast."
I've been familiar with it for a long time.
She claims there's a hidden chapter, one that the palace PR machine worked overtime to erase.
They couldn't keep these pictures hidden because there's just too many people involved, and now they don't care about protecting Meghan Markle anymore.
Because behind every filtered Instagram post and every teary interview clip, there's a side of Meghan that doesn't quite match the fairy tale. The one that whispers, she didn't just marry into royalty, she auditioned for it.
The reason why these pictures are so problematic for Meghan Markle is because these pictures place her with Jeffrey Epstein.
And now with what Lady Colin calls the photos they never wanted you to see, Meghan's carefully crafted image might be cracking faster than a Buckingham teacup at a family reunion. So buckle up, because tonight we're not talking about tiaras and titles. We're diving straight into the scandalous side of the Duchess.
This has now been going viral this week, Lady C.
These pictures that I'm about to show you have been banned from the internet. They were scrubbed, but now they're back. They're finally out there.
The one the palace won't confirm, the media won't touch, and Lady Colin just blew wide open. They buried the truth, but Lady C just dug it back up.
They couldn't keep these files hidden.
I've been familiar with it for a long time.
It started with a whisper, a single line in one of Lady Colin Campbell's latest interviews that detonated across the royal internet like fireworks over Windsor. "There are photos," she said calmly, "the way a surgeon says scalpel. Photos that were never meant to see daylight. Photos that, according to Lady C, rewrite everything we thought we knew about Meghan Markle's pre-royal life."
This was taken in 2015 when Meghan Markle was flown to Istanbul for the opening of Soho House to be a party girl carpet filler.
Within hours, hashtags were exploding. Screenshots, blurred frames, yacht decks under golden sunsets, all allegedly tied to a certain ambitious actress long before the palace gates open. And this time, Lady Colin didn't hedge or hint. She named the context. Exclusive yacht parties, billionaire summer retreats, and a web of elite connections so polished it made Hollywood look like a warm-up act. What makes the revelation sting isn't just the imagery, it's the contradiction.
A man called Kevin Blatt. Now, he is a celebrity tape broker, ladies, where he describes a 2018 call from a woman claiming to possess a 4-year-old tape of a Meghan who is about to marry a prince.
Her name is Meghan, and she's about to marry a prince in England.
No, what?
Yeah, this story's not true, too. It is true. I believe this is Meghan.
She is so odious, it's beyond me.
The Duchess who preaches compassion was apparently mingling in circles built on excess and privilege. The woman who lectures on equality was allegedly sipping champagne with the 1%. And as Lady C tells it, these weren't innocent coincidences. She claims Meghan's rise was strategic, a masterclass in social repositioning with every photo, every guest list, and every yacht stopped serving a purpose. But if these whispers are true, the real scandal isn't that the photos exist, it's how far some people went to bury them. Because once Lady Colin said it out loud, there was no going back. Every fairy tale has two sides. And according to Lady Colin Campbell, Meghan Markle's glow up from TV actress to Duchess wasn't exactly fueled by destiny. It was strategy wrapped in designer ambition and sealed with a champagne smile.
And here we have Andrew, with whom looks like Marcus Anderson. This is in 2001, when Meghan Markle would have allegedly been on third year. Meghan Markle hardly spent any time at Northwestern University.
People like Meghan will always stay with the man if there's no better option.
Before she was walking royal carpets, Meghan was allegedly walking yacht decks. The kind where guest lists are handwritten, phones are confiscated, and billionaires trade invitations like currency. These weren't casual vacations. They were power auditions. Behind every sunset photo and every just networking caption was a climb. Quiet, calculated, and perfectly curated. Lady Colin paints a picture of a woman who knew exactly how to play the game. One night, she's the charming Hollywood newcomer. The next she's in Dubai or Aether or the Hamptons, surrounded by the kind of people who could open doors faster than any casting director. Insiders say she wasn't just attending. She was observing, taking notes, rehearsing the role that would one day crown her. And what's chilling isn't that she moved in those circles. It's how carefully those moments vanish. Posts deleted, tags missing, friends suddenly private. A digital disappearing act that only makes the whispers louder.
She was coming to New York all the time. She was in New York when Andrew was in New York for an entire month in September 2013.
Lady Colin's words strike deeper than gossip. She didn't stumble into royalty. She mapped the route. But if Meghan really was living two lives, the humanitarian and the high roller, what happened when those worlds finally collided? Because that's where things start to unravel. It always starts with one photo. Blurry, distant, just enough to spark a wildfire. Then, like clockwork, the internet detectives show up. Screenshots multiply, and suddenly the story that wasn't supposed to exist starts piecing itself together. That's exactly what happened when Lady Colin Campbell mentioned those vanished yacht photos. Within hours, obscure blog posts resurfaced. Old archives flickered back online, and what looked like a routine sunset party took on a whole new meaning. In the center of it all, a familiar smile, a familiar silhouette, one that looks uncannily like Meghan Markle.
And I know what you're going to say. Maybe it was just that one trip. No, there were quite a few trips. There's actually quite a lot of pictures about them. There are 2 pictures that leaked.
These weren't your average paparazzi shots. They were private snaps taken at events where cameras were strictly forbidden. The lighting, the setting, the company, all screamed exclusive. And yet, according to Lady C, these photos had been systematically wiped from public databases years ago. Copyright strikes, takedown notices, even rumored legal nudges. A digital cleanup worthy of a palace-level PR team. The question isn't just what's in the pictures, but why they disappeared so fast. Who ordered the purge? Who had that kind of influence before she ever wore a tiara? Lady Colin suggests it wasn't about vanity. It was about preservation. The image of a modern duchess couldn't coexist with whispers of billionaire yachts and lavish escapades. But if these photos survived the scrubbing, what else might have slipped through the cracks? Because one thing's certain, buried truth always leaves a trace.
Harry also knows Meghan was on Jeffrey Epstein's yacht with Prince Andrew.
Every name in Lady Colin Campbell's expose seems to trace back to one thing. Influence, not romance, not glamour. Raw, unfiltered social currency. Meghan didn't just wander into high society. She navigated it like a GPS locked on power. Lady C connects the dots like a crime map. Yacht events filled with mogul, producers, and jetettaires who could make or break careers with a single dinner invitation. There were whispers of private gatherings off Capri, soirees in Monaco, quiet meetups in Beverly Hills. The kind where discretion wasn't requested, it was expected. The more you look, the more the pattern sharpens, the same faces, the same inner circles, the same ladder being climbed one glittering step at a time. She wasn't just attending these events. She was studying the hierarchy, learning how charm and mystery opened doors that fame alone could.
She's been flown all over the world. The Suits cast members didn't understand where she got the money to fly business class all over the world.
According to Lady Colin, Meghan's connections were never accidents. Each introduction, each friendship, each carefully positioned photo was a move on a larger chessboard, and royalty was the ultimate checkmate. And perhaps that's why the palace later froze. Because if Meghan's world had already overlapped with the billionaires, the influencers, and the so-called untouchables, that meant the monarchy hadn't invited an outsider in. They'd absorbed an insider. But what happens when those same elite names reappear? After the reign, after the titles, after the vows? That's where Lady Colin says the palace started to panic. When the whispers from Lady Colin Campbell's revelations started echoing through royal corridors, the mood inside the palace reportedly shifted from denial to dread. You could almost hear the silence, that heavy official kind of quiet that only happens when the establishment realizes it might have been played at its own game. Behind the polished smiles and public statements, there was confusion. How much did they know about Meghan's pre-royal life? How much had been buried by her team long before she met Harry?
In my opinion, in my analysis, and my experience of decades, this kind of analysis for me is the real deal. If a photo such as this of Meghan Markle with Prince Andrew years ago surfaces, that will be quite an scandal.
According to Lady Colin, certain aides had tried to flag inconsistencies early on. Odd trips, unexplained introductions, carefully redacted timelines. But once the engagement was public, questioning her became taboo. She wasn't just Meghan the actress anymore. She was Meghan the royal brand. The Queen's advisors, known for their ironclad control, allegedly feared one thing above all: optics. Any link between the Duchess and the world of elite yachts or billionaire circles could ignite a tabloid firestorm. So instead of confronting it, they went silent. A royal reflex honed over centuries. But Lady Colin's claims cracked that veneer. If even part of her story held truth, then the monarchy hadn't just welcomed a new duchess. It had imported a PR disaster in couture gloves. And when the palace realized Lady C wasn't bluffing, whispers turned to damage control. Because once the illusion of control breaks, even a crown can't hold back the storm. Then came the twist no one saw coming. The moment Lady Colin Campbell hinted that one of Meghan's former acquaintances from those elite summers had finally spoken out. Not a journalist, not a rival, but someone who had allegedly been there. Someone who described a woman who was less a social butterfly and more a strategist with a smile.